Hello, my lovely friends. It's Emma here from Just a Girl Who Loves Elvis. There's something very special about the days after Christmas and before the world fully wakes up again. That quiet stretch where time feels slower, where the pressure hasn't quite returned, where we're still holding on to that little bit of magic. In episode 1, we stayed in that stillness with Elvis. Today, we're taking the next gentle step. Not rushing, not forcing anything, just returning. This episode is about how Elvis slowly, carefully, lovingly re-entered the world after Christmas while still protecting his heart. So get yourself comfortable, take a breath with me, and let's walk this moment together. Christmas at Graceland didn't end abruptly. Elvis didn't wake up on the 26th and suddenly flip a switch to showman. He never lived that way. The decorations stayed up well into January. The lights stayed on. The music stayed soft. But something did begin to shift. Friends would start stopping by again. Phone calls returned. Life gently knocked at the door, and Elvis answered, cautiously, kindly. He understood something that many of us forget. You don't have to rush back into the world just because the calendar changes. Elvis Presley was deeply sensitive, not weak, not fragile, but aware. He felt things fully. After Christmas, he often needed a few days to reset, to sit with his thoughts, to read, to listen, to pray, to just be. That wasn't laziness, it was self-preservation. And honestly, there's something I think a lot of us could learn from. He didn't disappear. He just returned to life on his own terms. Elvis didn't make big announcements after Christmas. He didn't storm back into public life. Instead, there were small moments. A quiet drive, a visit with friends, sitting with his guitar playing softly, laughing at something silly, and talking about future plans without pressure. Those moments mattered. They were how Elvis found his balance again. And that's such a contrast to the image people sometimes have of him. Always performing, always on. Because the truth is, he cherished these in-between spaces. Even as Elvis began re-engaging, he didn't dismantle the sanctuary he built during Christmas. The lights stayed warm, the atmosphere stayed gentle. He understood that comfort isn't something you abandon, it's something you carry forward. And I love that about him. Because how often do we feel guilty for needing softness a little longer? Elvis never did. For Elvis, the new year wasn't about reinvention. It wasn't about becoming something new. It was about continuing. Continuing to grow. Continuing to love. Continuing to try. He didn't chase resolutions. He focused on intention. And I think that's such an important distinction. He knew life wasn't fixed overnight. It unfolded, gently, day by day. This episode isn't just about Elvis. It's about us. It's about giving ourselves permission to return to the world slowly, without guilt, without apology. Elvis reminds us that strength can be quiet. that progress can be gentle, that healing doesn't need an audience. And I think that's why his story still resonates, because it feels human. So, my lovely friends, as we move through these days between Christmas and New Year, I hope you take a little Elvis wisdom with you. You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove anything. You're allowed to step back into the world gently. Thank you for being here with me, truly. If this episode brought you comfort, I'd love for you to like, share or subscribe. Not because you have to, but because it helps this little community grow. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep a little Elvis magic in your heart.